Allie and I have a huge half marathon race coming up in 2 weeks, so we wanted to do a 5K tune-up race. I personally like doing local 5Ks, but this one was a little bit out of my element as we had to wear snow cleats because it snowed so much the day before the race. I was very hesitant to even do the race, but Allie convinced me to do it. So this was our experience at the Yeti Chase 5K. My goal was to run low 15 minutes for the race, so let's find out what happens, folks. Okay, it's the night before the race and we got like a foot of snow today, or like 10 inches. So I'm trying to be smart and shovel off the car tonight, so in the morning it's not too terrible. But here we are. We're just hoping that things turn out okay for this race.
I am getting so ready for this 5K. I'm about to put the smack down on you in this 5K race. That's easy work for me.
Georgie.
I'm good, mother.
Georgie, hey, do you want dinner? Dinner? Okay, it's the night before the race. Got my Syncom recovery boots on right now. Super nice, just flushing out the legs. But I'm feeling pretty good. I think that I want to try to run 5 flat pace, maybe a little bit faster tomorrow. That would be really good for altitude leading into this half marathon we've got in about 2 weeks. So with that, we'll see you guys in the morning. So you're telling me we're about to drive an hour to literally run on ice?
Yep.
After the race, I'm actually flying to New York City to surprise my oldest sister who had her second child a couple months ago. So I'm gonna visit her. Maybe I'll vlog a little bit of that as well. All right, we just arrived at the race. Gonna do a little warm up with Allie and then decide what we want to do here. It's pretty cold out. The goal is to just finish this thing, hopefully get the win, and just have fun out there. In some sense, it's a good way to just get used to that race day feel of just preparing through the process, and things are never gonna go the way you want them to, so just, I have to remind myself that. All right, put these ice cleats on. Hopefully these help us out here. Now we're good to go. So this 5K was totally a family-friendly vibe, not really a super competitive one. Right here, I'm about to give this Yeti a high five. I didn't realize he was trying to give me a high five, so I almost ran right into him. But I was able to successfully pass both Yetis about 50 seconds into this race, so we completed that task. But I just want to tell you how I was feeling out here today in the cold weather. You know that feeling when it's so cold when you're trying to run outside that your feet actually are like numb and they have pins and needles feelings? That's how I felt out there. It was like 12 degrees, but it felt even colder just being on the actual snow, and wearing these rubber snow cleat things was just awkward on my feet. This is normally a paved road, but you know, it was so icy and slippery that we had to have those rubber cleats on so we wouldn't fall. So really my main objective was just don't fall, don't get hurt, don't pull an Achilles, because you know, things like that are so easy to happen in cold weather type situations. So really the main thing, like I keep reiterating, was just do not get hurt, but also go out, try to run kind of hard. The first mile right here was pretty downhill and flat, so I was able to cruise along nicely. I was going right around 5-minute pace-ish. We're gonna come up to a mile pretty soon to see what we are at, but I was just following the lead biker. Shout out to him for even being able to stay on a bike. But we came up to 1 mile in 4:58, which was really solid. I thought I was going to be able to maintain sub 5 pace, but this second mile got very, very tough. I've been using Lumen for about a month now, and it has really helped me increase energy levels and make me feel better in my body. For those who don't know, Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. And on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fats or carbs and gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workout, sleep, and even stress management. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. Then, Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements. Tracking metabolic health is important because your metabolism is your body's engine. It's how your body turns the food you eat into the fuel that keeps you going. Having optimal metabolic health translates to several benefits such as improved energy levels, better fitness results, and better sleep. Right now, it is absolutely crucial for me to stay recovered while doing high volume training, so having Lumen as an asset has been great. So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/athlete-special to get 20% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/athlete-special for 20% off your purchase. So basically right after the first mile, you start going gradually uphill and there's a lot of twists and turns, and it just got super painful, and I all of a sudden was running closer to 5:20 pace, which was kind of a shock to me. And I also just couldn't even really breathe that well. I don't know if you guys can relate to that feeling when it's so cold out that you almost feel like you can't get a full breath. That's how I felt. So I almost felt like I couldn't really push. Plus my legs were just super cold. I know I sound like the biggest sandbagger in the world, and I'm not even really trying to sandbag. Like, this was never supposed to be a crazy race or anything, but it was just a different experience out there running in this super cold weather. It was actually kind of fun in a different way. But here we are at 1.83 miles doing a turnaround point. And then I saw Allie chugging behind me, so that encouraged me to keep going hard.
Let's go, Allie.
So right after I high-fived Allie, I realized that I actually didn't feel terrible anymore because I was going downhill, which was great because we had just turned around. And I realized we were also coming up on 2 miles, which is also another great thing because it meant that we only had 1 mile to go. But I came through 2 miles running a 5:25, so 10:23 through 2 miles. So I thought, okay, you know what, I can salvage this. I can run a low 5-minute mile for mile 3 just to, you know, get this race maybe under 16 minutes. That would be awesome at this point. But this part of the race coming up gets a little bit confusing here, as you're about to see. I kind of just got a little bit confused about where I was supposed to go.
Where do I go? This way? The 5K?
5K.
You can hear me give out a little bit of a sassy sigh right there, but I honestly didn't really care that the directions were kind of confusing. I think everyone was a little bit confused about the course because it did get changed last second because of the snow, but here's the lead biker whizzing by me again, so it was good to have him in front here. But yeah, this part was like kind of flat and uphill again, so not that easy. And again, like, there were people pointing out ice patches and really being great about making sure that we didn't slip and fall. So, you know, even though it was such a crummy atmosphere out there, you got to give a shout out to just everyone for even showing up to the race. Here we are coming up at 3 miles and 5:16, so I did run a little bit faster that mile. Nothing crazy or anything like that, but we're coming up to the finish line, guys. What do you think I am going to run in the Yeti Chase 5K?
We have had our first finisher, Spencer.
So obviously Allie and I ran a lot slower than we wanted to, but at the end of the day we got an experience out of it, which is what matters. But after the race, Allie had to drive me to the airport so I could surprise my oldest sister in New York City. So here is the clip of that.
All right, with Larkin right now, we're about to surprise Kelsey.
See?